Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions, waking up, working, sleeping, but not really living? If that emptiness has been chasing you, this video might just be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Have you ever felt like every single day of your life looks exactly the same? You wake up heavy-hearted, grab a quick cup of coffee, rush through traffic, and then sit for hours in front of a computer screen. You work, and work, but can't even remember why you're doing it anymore. By the time you get home at night, you're so exhausted you can't talk to anyone. You just collapse into bed, scroll through random things on your phone, and fall asleep. And the next morning, the cycle starts all over again. Maybe you've asked yourself, am I really living, or am I just existing? You have a stable job. You earn enough to pay the bills. You may even have things other people dream of. But deep down, you feel empty. No excitement. No dreams. No energy. It's like you've become a machine, programmed to keep running day after day until you break down. And perhaps the most painful truth is, you can't even remember the last time your heart truly came alive. When was the last time you felt so excited you couldn't sit still? When was the last time you laughed at life because it felt so beautiful? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and saw your eyes shining with passion? Maybe it's been a long time. Maybe you've forgotten that feeling. And so, every day, you keep living, but not really. You're only existing. Existing to please others. Existing to pay debts. Existing because you don't know what else to do. But deep down, you once had dreams. As a kid, maybe you wanted to become someone great, do something that made you happy. As a young adult, you might have believed life was full of colors. But over the years, pressure from work, family responsibilities, and society's expectations dimmed that light. You told yourself, just existing is good enough. But is it, really? Is just existing all you want for the rest of your life? Because if tomorrow was your last day, would you truly be satisfied with how you live today? Be honest with yourself, are you living a life worth remembering, or are you just running in circles like a shadow, waiting for the days to pass? If these words feel like they're speaking directly to your heart, stay with me in this video. Together, we'll face the question that may seem simple, but cuts deep into the soul. Are you living, or just existing? Why do so many of us end up existing instead of truly living? The answer isn't that you're lazy, weak, or lack discipline. In fact, you've been trying hard. You go to work every day, you carry family responsibilities, you do your best to appear stable in the eyes of others. But the pressure and expectations society piles onto your shoulders slowly eat away at your spirit. From childhood, you were told, study hard to get a good job, get a job to make money to start a family, build a family to be considered stable. Step by step, you followed this pre-written path. But nobody taught you how to find joy along the way. Nobody showed you how to live a life meaningful to you, not just one that looks acceptable to everyone else. As an adult, the weight of work feels like a whirlpool. 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. What you get in return is constant exhaustion, nights where you're too tired to play with your kids, and stress that keeps you awake. You tell yourself, that's just the price of stability. But does that stability really make you happy? Sometimes it feels like you live only to pay bills. Rent, electricity, car payments, insurance. All these obligations tie you down so tightly you don't dare step outside the loop. You dream of changing jobs, following a passion, but fear whispers, what if you fail? What if you can't support your family? So you choose the safer option, existing. Then comes comparison. Social media is filled with smiling faces and highlight reels of success. You scroll and wonder, why can they live like that, but I can't? This constant comparison drains your confidence and makes you feel even more stuck. Some mornings you wake up already tired, asking yourself, how long do I have to keep repeating this meaningless cycle? You want change, but you don't know where to start. You want to live, but you don't know what for. And this is the truth many carry silently. On the outside, they seem fine, smiling, working, functioning. But inside, they feel like they're fading into nothing. That's the real problem. We've confused existing with living. Existing means doing the bare minimum to survive, eat, sleep, work, pay bills. Living means waking up with joy, meaning, and a reason to breathe. But for too long, you've forgotten the living part of your life. You've let responsibility, pressure, and fear consume all your space. And when that repeats long enough, you lose connection with yourself. Ask yourself honestly. When was the last time you did something just because it made you happy? When was the last time you lost track of time because you were so absorbed in something you loved? When was the last time you looked at life with gratitude instead of just burden? If you can't remember, you're not really living. You're only existing. And acknowledging this truth is the first step toward change. The good news is, you don't need to flip your entire life upside down overnight to start living again. Sometimes, a small shift in perspective and a tiny daily action is enough to reignite the fire within you. Ask the core question, what do I truly want? Most of us live on autopilot, doing what we should do instead of what we actually want. Write down the answer to this. If tomorrow were my last day, how would I live today? Even small answers matter: calling a friend, reading a favorite book, taking a walk. That's not trivial, it's reclaiming choice. And choice is what it means to live. Pause and listen. In the rush of life, we rarely stop to check in. When was the last time you sat still, no phone, no noise, and asked yourself, how do I really feel? Often, we don't realize how drained we are until we crash. By pausing, you hear your true self again, and only then can you begin to heal. Redefine value. Society measures worth by income, status, achievements. But real living is not about being rich or famous. It can be as simple as tending a plant, writing a journal entry, or laughing wholeheartedly. Someone earning millions might feel hollow, while someone with little but passion feels fulfilled. The difference? Living versus existing. Start small. Change doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow. It means taking small, brave steps. If you're exhausted, walk for 15 minutes instead of collapsing into bed. If life feels meaningless, pick up an old hobby you abandoned. If you feel stuck, say no once to something you only do out of fear. Each small choice is a declaration: I choose to live. Rebuild real connections. Humans aren't meant to live alone. Yet many are surrounded by hundreds of friends online, but no one to call when life gets hard. To live fully, nurture genuine bonds, have dinner with family, meet an old friend, or simply smile at a stranger. Real connection is fuel for the soul. Practice gratitude. One of the quickest ways to shift from existing to living is gratitude. Be thankful for the little things: a good meal, a sunny afternoon, or simply the fact that you're still breathing. Write down 3 things you're grateful for daily. Slowly, your heart will expand, and life will feel richer. Give yourself permission to change. Most importantly, allow yourself to change. Don't wait for a miracle or for someone to save you. No one is coming. But the good news is, you are enough to rescue yourself. You don't need to know the whole path. Just decide you deserve to live, and take one step today. One step is all it takes to begin. Living isn't about chasing something grand or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about choosing, day after day, to experience life fully, through small joys, honest connections, and simple gratitude. Step by step, you'll realize, I've started to live again. Let me tell you a story. It could be about someone real, or maybe it's just a reflection of yourself. Michael's story, the 42-year-old man. Michael worked in finance in New York. Good job. Decent pay. A wife and 2 kids. From the outside, his life looked successful. But inside, he felt empty. Every morning, he wore his suit but carried lifeless eyes. He sat through endless meetings, staring at spreadsheets. By night, he was too drained to even talk to his family. The dreamer in him, the teenager who once loved painting, was long gone. One day, Michael had chest pains at work. A mild heart attack. In the hospital, the doctor said, "If you don't change, next time you may not wake up." That moment shook him. Michael realized he had been existing, not living. He was a money-making machine, not a man. The turning point. After recovery, he asked himself, if tomorrow were my last day, would I regret this life? The answer was yes. So he began small. A 20-minute morning walk. Sketching a few lines again. Weekly family dinners with no phones or emails. It was scary at first. He feared losing his career edge. But the opposite happened, his health improved, his energy grew, and his relationships deepened. The result. 2 years later, Michael left finance and opened a small art studio. He wasn't earning as much, but he felt free, alive, and present. He said, "I thought money would bring my family happiness. But what they really wanted was me, fully alive, fully here." Michael's story proves it's never too late to start living. You don't need a heart attack to wake up. You can choose now, today, with one small step. Because living isn't about others' approval. It's about having a reason each morning that makes your heart smile. And you can find that reason, if you dare to begin. My friend, after everything we've walked through in this video, you now see the difference between existing and living. Existing is dragging yourself through repetitive days, working, paying bills, surviving. Living is waking up with a reason, with joy, with love. Living doesn't mean perfection. You don't need to be rich or admired. Living is being yourself, feeling deeply, loving fully, and embracing moments as they are. So ask yourself one last time. If tomorrow was your final day, how would you live today differently? Maybe you'd call someone you've drifted away from. Maybe you'd chase a forgotten passion. Or maybe, you'd just take a deep breath and smile, grateful that you still have a chance to change. You can't control how many years you'll have. But you can decide how you'll live each day. Even the smallest choice today can open a whole new tomorrow. Don't wait for a crisis. Don't wait for someone to rescue you. No one else can. But you can. Life is shorter than you think. Don't settle for existing. Choose to live, truly live, for yourself, for the people you love, and for the dreams still waiting for you. And remember this. The day you decide to truly live, that is the day your real life begins.